One of the first big mistakes I made in investing was I cashed out my 401k. Now, why did I do that? Well, first let's start with the story. So, I was 24, 25. I got my first big paramedic job with a big ambulance company, working in the big city, working at night, driving the ambulance, saving people's lives. I loved it. Well, when I got hired, they had a 401k in which they offered a match of 3%. Well, they actually had an opt-out clause. They automatically enrolled you in the plan unless you opted out, which meant you had to go to the HR and sign a paper that said you don't want to participate. And let's face it, most people are too lazy to do that, so they automatically do. I was the same guy. I was too lazy. I stayed in it. So I worked for the ambulance company for about 8 years, from 1994 to 2000 and end of 2001. So then I got my job with the fire department, and life went on. I got a note a few months later, a mail from them that said I needed to take care of the 401k, either roll it over or get it off the books, because I was no longer employed with the company and I needed to take care of the 401k. Problem was, I didn't know anything about 401ks. I didn't know about rolling over to an IRA. I didn't know any of this stuff. So I went to HR at my new job at the fire department and said, hey, I need to roll over my 401k. And she said, no, you can't roll it over to a 457. I didn't know why. Didn't ask, didn't think to ask, didn't know what an IRA was. So what did I do? I cashed it out. Does anybody remember what happened in 2000, 2001? There was this thing called the tech bubble. Remember when my .com stocks were going up and the sky was the limit? NASDAQ hit over 5,000. The world was good. People were becoming millionaires overnight. Companies that you never heard of one day. MyBooBoo.com would go public and boom, it would sell out. Well, it all came crashing down, didn't it? And if you remember, it was about the bottom in the third quarter of 2002 whenever I got this letter. Now, I didn't invest very much. 3% of my salary back then probably amounted to about $1,000 a year. I don't really know. I didn't keep track of that. But when I cashed out my 401k, it had a little over $10,000 in it. Now, I realize that's a small amount, but this was 17 years ago, so definitely would have had time to grow had I kept it around. But here's the thing I didn't know, is first of all, you know you have to pay tax on the money. I knew that. I don't know what tax bracket we were in then, but I knew they were going to take the taxes out. What I didn't know was there was going to be a 10% hit. So here's what happened. Of the $10,000 that I had, I ended up with less than $7,000, you guys. And what did I do? I spent it. Wah, wah, wah. That was dumb. So, my moral to this story is, if you have a 401k and you don't know what to do with it, ask. Roll that thing over. Do not cash it out. If you cash it out, you're going to get a big tax penalty. Don't do it. That's my message for today. Hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe as always. We'll see you again next week.